Right, so last week's training, because I'm a fucking idiot. Well, fucking idiot or just a lazy bastard. Bit of a mixture of the two. Last week was actually a really good training. Week of training. Well, I say it's last week. It's like it's the events day last week, and then this week's overhead day because I couldn't be asked doing the original video, which was going to be last week's deadlifts and events, as well as overhead, but events wasn't that, deadlifts weren't that eventful. I mean, I did hit a 200 kilo for 3 very comfortably, which was satisfying. But anyways, moving on. So we started off the session. This is the event session last week. Video coming out on this event session this week. Actually, no, I won't, because I didn't record anything on the camera because it was a deload. Didn't think anything much of it, and then I ended up having some of my best farmers performances, and then as well as very good performance on the sandbag. It was mainly just on axle that I sort of deloaded a little bit. Makes sense, I guess, but whatever. Anyways, so last week's event session, I had a 90 kilo AMRAP set, which is the first thing we're going to get into right off the bat. So in competition, it will be 100 kilos for many reps possible in 75 seconds. So I simulated the exact same conditions, and yeah, it got pretty good. I think come competition day, 4 or 5 reps, and yeah, you'll see why. And then moving on to the overhead day, I had 100 kilos for sets of 3. Well, actually, I could choose. It was anywhere between 3 sets of 1 at the very ballpark low end of the thing, or it could go all the way up to 5 sets of 3. It was basically just up to me to decide. My coach said on the program for that week, well, for this last week, having just gone. And yeah, I would say I comfortably hit the higher ends of his expectations. Now, without further ado, let's just get into the video and run you through the session, how things went, what was going through my mind, and what I think went right and wrong. Right, let's crack on with it. Right, so starting off with the 90 kilo axle for reps. Okay, so one thing that actually really surprised me about this day was, up until this session really, the most difficult part of the reps and the prep and just axle clean and press in general has been the clean. But as you can see here, I think I do 3 or 4 reps, because then I had to readjust the clips, because the clips of this gym, most of them are pretty terrible. I think I'm going for 4th rep here, yeah, because afterwards I check for the time. But anyways, my point is, the clean was smooth, man, and it was this week as well when I had axle, even though it was a little lighter, it was 80 kilos. But 90 kilos axle, clean and press, the clean was really good. Not too much struggle really. Didn't lose my balance as I have done in the past. When going for that clean, especially with this sort of weight, considering that my best ever axle clean and press is 90 kilos for 6 reps in 75 seconds. Not a bad performance, but I think I could have done 7, maybe 8 if I really pushed it. If I'd known the timings, didn't have to readjust the weights and whatnot. But anyways, excuses done. There's my list of excuses. It was a pretty good set nonetheless. As you can see, I collapse over the bar behind me and then crouch over. Then sit down, because I'm a dramatic bastard. Anyways, moving on to farmers. Farmers were rough this week, this session in particular, but then this week, oh my god, because this is 105 and had 105 again this week. This week it moved much better. Actually, that moved better than I remember it moving. I don't know. I think it felt worse than maybe it looked. Perhaps I'm like judging it a little too harshly. I don't know. But I'm taking a long time to do that turn. I think I had to readjust it. That's why. Because sometimes when you drop it, farmers, they just spread out. But actually this week didn't have that problem. Anyways, moving on to sandbags, 120 for as many reps as possible in 75 seconds. In competition, the bag will be 100. So, training heavier than the comp is always going to help. Come competition day, it'll feel easy, even though it is the last event. But, I've the 100 kilo sandbag is just way too easy for me at this point, as you'll see in my next video. Or actually, no. As you can go check it out on Instagram. I post a full training dump as well as TikTok and stuff. Like I've got videos the 120 sandbag and stuff over on TikTok. So of the 100 kilo sandbag from this week. I mean, sorry. So, but you won't be seeing a video of that on YouTube, because I thought that this session this week was just going to be really boring. But no, turned out to be actually alright, but yeah. Right, now this was on Monday, moving into the first overhead press sessions. Now I didn't record the first set on this camera, but the first set wasn't good. I only got 2 reps and then failed the third. I sort of like lost my balance, sort of, and then jerked to one side, but then yeah. That was the second set back. Very happy with that, to get the first 3 reps, gave me the confidence, then move on to the remaining 3 sets after this, all of which I then hit the designated reps. So if I was going to do 5 sets of 3, that would have been total 15 reps. But because of the first set, if I was then just going to do 4 sets of 3, I would have only done 14 reps, and that didn't sit well in my mind. So in the second last set, going into the last set, I was thinking, you know, fuck it, let's just do 4 reps on the last set, and you'll see that in a second now. Just racking the 4th set, you know. Now in the second is yeah, here we go. Last set, the first rep, you'll see on the way down, a little unstable, lost it forward a little bit, but recouped. Second rep, easy. Honestly, the 4th set was so much easier than I'd have ever predicted. And here we go, 4th one for good measure, make up for that first miss rep on the last set. But yeah, there you have it. Overall, pretty good session. I cannot really complain, other than maybe, you know, missing the 3rd rep on the first set of that particular overhead press day and such, and maybe not as fast as I would have liked on the sandbag. Maybe a rep or 2 more was there on the axle if I really pushed it and was able to time it properly and didn't have the, you know, equipment failures. But overall, pretty good session. Can't really complain. Pretty good week, and hopefully I'll get back on track to actually uploading these videos at a relatively good speed and relatively good schedule, and not making these videos a week later after the training days have actually happened. But oh well. Until next time, when I will undoubtedly have more overhead press PRs to show and more cool events day. And I'm also really looking forward to my deadlift day tomorrow. Next week, I mean. Because if my coach is going where I think he might be going, I'll get my program for next week. Tomorrow, I could potentially be looking at heavy double, heavy triple for my top set. I'd love it. I'd love it to be like a 210 triple. That would be amazing. That'd be a massive PR. Something that I totally expect that I'm capable of at the minute, but I just haven't had the chance. I haven't had the opportunity to do that sort of weight for that many reps at the minute. So we will wait and see. Hopefully he puts that in there and makes my dreams come true and gives me a bit of confidence. But yeah, until next time, I will see you around. Bye bye. You'll see why. And then good. I think come competition day, 4 or 5 reps, and